Welcome to the Tattoo Marketing Podcast. On this week's episode, we're talking to Chase Nolan, a Florida tattoo artist and blackwork and geometric specialist. He breaks down how he went from a walk-in artist in a shop in a small military town to building a career in a niche style that he absolutely loves. We talk about the realities behind the so-called tattoo apocalypse, why the oversaturation in the tattoo industry is forcing the weaker artists out, and what actually keeps clients booked and coming back. Chase also shares how his success and growth on YouTube has brought him a ton of clients, and the mistakes that most artists are making on platforms like YouTube. This episode is for the tattoo artists that want to stand out, build demand, and build a career with more intention. Enjoy.
My name is Chase Nolan. I am a tattoo artist in Boca Raton, Florida. I specialize in geometric tattoos. I've been doing geometric tattoos probably for the last 10 years, and I've been tattooing for about 16. I kind of really only do, the black work, dot work, geometric style now that I'm a lot more established in my career. I'm privileged enough to be able to pick and choose what I do. Yeah, that's about it. I'm a father. I'm a father of a 9-year-old boy who's in the background over here. We both love to stunt ride motorcycles. It's really our main focus. Tattooing is just is my secondary focus. That's number one back there.
Yeah, 100%, man. And I was going to ask you, and we can jump into a little bit about the motorcycle stuff because I saw your Instagram page, and I had a motorcycle before I had a car. So, yeah, want to definitely touch on that. It's kind of funny how we got connected also because we were running some ads using some images from Canva, essentially images anybody can use. And apparently one of them was of you, and you didn't know it was on there.
I had no idea. I still to this day I have no idea how it got on there.
Yeah, there's a couple of them too. So kind of wild how this how we met. But yeah, man, I'm looking over your stuff. You're a fantastic artist. Again, it seems like you have a good work-life balance, doing stuff out of work, stuff with your kid, things like that. So you've been doing geometric for 10 years. Like what made you want to jump into that? Because I'm assuming before that you were kind of a generalist, did whatever came through the door or
Yeah, so before I started really diving into the geometric style, I owned a tattoo shop in Savannah, Georgia. And Savannah is a very big military town, so walk-in tattoo shops are definitely a hot commodity there. It's a little oversaturated now. But however, 10 years ago, the getting was good in Savannah. It was tattooed a lot of Rangers, a lot of Army. So that walk-in tattoo is what I did mostly. Pretty much anything that came in the door, from dog tags to dates and names and infinity symbols and spurs and whatever. Anything that came in the door, I did. I was really hungry to tattoo and hungry to make money because life is not that cheap. So and any way that I was able to, I kind of just did. And I've even done portraits in my career. I'm not like super proud of them, and I definitely won't show you, but I've done them. It was really when my older brother tattoos as well, Tyler Nolan. He was on Ink Master, and he's also pretty well known in the exotic reptile industry, working with venomous reptiles specifically. He was doing. He's always kind of done like neo-traditional in his career, and he started doing dot work, which I really liked. I saw it and I was like, man, there's something about that just looks so good to me. And it's the contrast, really is just what makes it pop, that negative space. So I saw him doing it a bunch, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna give this a shot." And I tried it. I fell in love with it, and I really tried to make that my day to day appointment. I didn't want to do the walk-ins anymore. I wanted to only do geometric tattoos and floral tattoos and just that style, and start creating bigger pieces too. I was tired of just doing that one little, the elbow. I wanted to do the whole arm. So I just kind of found a good flow for myself, and through trial and an error, and just the references of my peers, and kind of created my own take on it. And it's really done me well. um, I remember when I first moved back to Florida when my son was a year old, so that was about 8 years ago. I remember moving back here and just not having any clientele, and really struggling to kind of build a clientele. But I used that as an opportunity to kind of push out the walk-in tattoo, and really only focus on that style. And just through creating pieces and posting those and to sell, has got me to where I'm at today. And I'm super, super blessed and super thankful for that, because I don't think I was as good of a tattoo artist when it comes to any other style as I am as geometric. So I'm super, super thankful to have found that style, and really ran with it.
Yeah, and like I said, I looked at your work. You're a fantastic artist. And you seem to be consistently pretty busy, even though it's, some say the tattoo apocalypse, stuff like that. It's been a rough couple years for a lot of shops. I know you have a good presence online, stuff like that. Have you always been fairly booked out, or have you seen those highs
No.
and lows?
So I've definitely seen the highs and the lows. I wasn't always super booked out. And I can't even say that I am super booked out even right now. Like, I'm definitely, I'm not struggling. I'm not hurting right now, but I have seen a significant decline, in the last 2 years, especially. But I don't necessarily think that it's the tattoo apocalypse. I don't think that, um, I don't even think that it's something that needs to even be worried about, unless you're one of the artists that I'm about to talk about. I think that I think that this time is 100% necessary for the tattoo industry, because it has become oversaturated. Tattooing is something that has been gate kept for a very long time, and I do believe that it should have remained that way. Not everybody should be a tattoo artist. It takes a certain type of person to be able to do this, and I'm not saying just to be able to tattoo. I'm saying to live the life of a tattoo artist. It takes a very certain type of person. Um, and if you're not that type of person, you are getting weeded out right now. And I think that's a good thing. I think that the industry needed a cleanse of the um, spoiled, rotten, entitled apprentice. And that's just not the way that I work, and that's not the way that I teach. Like, I'm not just teaching you to tattoo. I'm teaching you to become a hard worker. I'm teaching you how um you're not just selling a good tattoo, you're selling a whole experience. Like, I want my clients to feel good, and not just about the tattoo that they're wearing. Like, I want them to be like, this was the best experience I've ever had. He went above and beyond to make me comfortable, to make me happy. I'm going to recommend him to every single person I talk to about this because of that. He left an impression on me, not just a mark. And that's what I teach. And I have a lot of people that have failed because of that. If I don't think that you have what it takes, if you don't have that drive, if you don't have that work ethic, then there's the door, you know. I'm not here to babysit. I don't want to babysit. I got a 9-year-old of my own, and that's about all the babysitting I'm doing.
It's
So
definitely been interesting. Yeah, the last 2 years, the amount of people have jumped into the industry, and I would definitely say part of it is, post COVID, you could turn people down left and right, and then you saw the line out the door, and I think a lot of people saw that and like, oh, this is how it always is in the tattoo industry, so I'm going to jump into it. And yeah, we're seeing a lot of those people leave. We're seeing a lot of people who don't prioritize the experience because there's so many fantastic artists out there now, and with social media, they're everywhere. It's no longer enough just to be a tattoo artist. Like I got my first tattoo 20 years ago, and I went to the shop that was in town because it was the only one. Like you had no choice then, but now the amount that you have is insane. The people that still think tattooing is you're a rock star, you can do whatever you want, versus like you said, people that prioritize the experience and came through a good apprenticeship. I saw an article in my local newspaper lately. A woman had opened a tattoo shop and had 3 apprentices, and she had been tattooing for a year. And that to me is not how it should be. One, after a year, you should not be teaching anybody to do that. And two,
after
with three
so
apprentices, yeah,
hold up. Yeah, I don't agree with that either. I
yeah.
see it all the time.
It's an easy way to make money, I guess.
Yeah.
And also with 3 apprentices, there's no way you're gonna. If there's one of you, you've been doing it for a year, you have 3 apprentices. There's no way any of them are getting a good apprenticeship. Like you said, it's not only being taught how to tattoo, but it's the experience, which again is what we're seeing people prioritize these days.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
it's changed a lot. Like, and when you talk about experience, like what are the things that come to mind for you? Because again, I know it could help a lot of tattoo artists. Yeah.
I just opened my shop. Me and my brother and I had a shop in Deerfield Beach for the last 5 years. And it was something that we kind of started together. And in those 5 years, my brother moved about an hour away and was not able to come up to the shop as much as needed. And it kind of, withered away, so to speak, after a couple of years of him not being super close to the shop. And so I decided to go off and do my own thing. And so it's very new for me here. But one thing that I really wanted to do was create a comfortable environment. I spent the money on the equipment. Most shops you go to, if you're an artist there, you're buying your own armrest, you're buying your own massage table, all those things. That's like just something that you're supplying to your clients. I went ahead and bought 5 artists chairs from GG Workshop. Awesome, great chairs, great for their back, and just comfortable. And it has a good aesthetic in the shop. I really do like the way the chairs look. So I got 5 of those for the 5 stations, and then I got 5 client chairs that are also very comfortable. Not your folding out massage table that nobody wants to be laying on for 8 hours. So I went ahead and I got a good quality, fully electric client chair that the back raises, the legs raise, you can move it around and put it any position you need it in. But it's comfortable. If you got to sit in that chair for 8 hours, you're not going to be complaining about your back hurting or your ass hurting from sitting there too long. I want that part of the experience to be good, and I definitely spent the money for that. So just comfortability is a big thing. But then, there's a lot that has come out last, maybe 5 years of tattooing. There's been a lot of canceling and a lot of just revamping the industry where I think a lot of artists have taken advantage of their power and their position over the last however long, to where that has kind of come out and has been exposed to where you should never be making your client uncomfortable, period, ever. Whether it's male, female, they should feel safe, they should feel comfortable, and they should, want to come back, basically. Um, and I can't even say that I've been the best because, I was definitely the rock star tattoo artist in my 20s, and I partied hard, and I've grown up a lot over the years. But I think that it's a huge thing where you have to make people comfortable. Otherwise, they're not going to come back. They're going to go to the next person that will make them comfortable. Just being a good person. If I'm ordering food in the shop, I'm gonna offer it to every single person in this shop, whether it's an artist or a client. You want anything from Pollo Tropical. Um, or I'm running over to the gas station. Can I get anybody a drink, water, whatever? Just really making them feel comfortable, making them feel at home. And then it's just going to be your follow up. If you're not following up with your clients and seeing how your tattoo is healing, or asking them how they're feeling, those are the things that they remember. Like, yeah, they have a tattoo on them for the rest of their life, but it's how you make people feel that they're going to remember the most. Um, and that's something that I really try to make every single one of my clients feel special. Like, I don't want them to feel like, man, this guy sucks. He just can't wait to get me out of the chair. Like, no, I want everybody to know that I'm 100% locked in. You're my client for the day. We're gonna get this done. We're gonna get it. We're gonna have a good time doing it too. So it's
Yeah,
important.
it's super important. It's what makes people keep coming back and make you their regular artist. It's not just an investment in, the shop and stuff. It is makes reoccurring revenue because people come back. The
Yep.
experience is huge. And it sounds like you don't just prioritize experience for clients, but also for the artists that work in your shop, which is giant, man. There's a lot of shop owners that go through a lot of artists, and you can tell by talking to them, it's because of them. Um,
Mm.
but having happy artists and like having that family unit in there where everybody looks out for everybody, like you can tell that vibe when you walk into a shop. I've been
Mhm.
working on a sleeve with this guy Kyle out of Crimson Fox in Boise, and him and his artists that work at a shop are the funniest, like just great environment type of people. And like it's 6 hours for me. I will go. He's a fantastic artist, what drew me in, but like the experience in the shop is second to none. It makes it worth the drive and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, and that's a big reason why I don't have that many artists right now. It's me. I got one other artist named Dex who just moved here from London. So for the last 20 years, he's been tattooing in London. He doesn't have much clientele here at all, but he's a great dude. I love working with him. He's a hard worker, and he's definitely somebody that I want on my team. So I've been very picky. Like, I could definitely have 5 artists in here right now, but I don't, and I probably won't until I find those right fits. Because when you're shopping for tattoo artists, as an employee, you really gotta put in the time to make sure that you're crossing off all of those dots, those boxes, because it's a headache when they don't, and you find out the hard way.
Yeah. And it ruins the vibe in the shop, makes everybody unhappy. One
Yeah,
person could be a cancer for an entire workplace.
yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it happen. Seen it happen.
So you have a fairly large YouTube following. What got you into YouTube and like how long have you been doing it? Stuff like that.
I've been doing YouTube on and off for the last few years, maybe 2, 3 years. My brother Tyler got me into it. He's got a lot of followers on YouTube. I think he's almost at 1 million subscribers. Um, so just seeing his success with that, and and just what it's done for his career, and it was like a no-brainer for me. As much as I hate sitting there talking to a camera, and having to work triple time by I'm filming on top of my full day session. I'm uploading everything to my Dropbox to be edited, and then having to make the thumbnail, which takes me several hours, and then I upload the video to YouTube and fill out everything. It's a lot of work, but it has benefited my career more than anything else, really. Not only am I showing off what I'm capable of doing, but I'm also kind of showing off the vibe. I'm also selling the experience. And my channel is monetized, so I do get paid monthly, from Google for ad revenue, which is great. It's a nice little bonus every month. Um, but the amount of clientele that I'm getting from YouTube, it has been great. Um, Even if my ad revenue is low for the month and I have 2 or 3 people book, that's that would be great. Like
Yeah.
even just one client a month from YouTube, plenty. I love it. It's a full-time job in itself, and you have to have that personality and be able to do it, for it to work. I don't think
Yeah,
my
one
I don't think my videos are great or interesting at all. I'm definitely trying to come up with ways of being more, better in front of the camera and just doing different things, but I got a lot on my plate right now, so I'm trying to handle everything one day at a time.
100%, man. I mean, looking at your videos, each one of them has tens of thousands of views. I think you're doing something right. So,
I'm trying, man. When I first started doing YouTube, I was getting 500,000 views, 700,000 views, 800,000 views. I haven't had a video like that in a while. Um, Lately, it's been more like 10,000, 20,000, 30,000. No, those aren't the numbers I want. I want
which are,
I want 1 million views on every video, but I'm sure everybody does.
let's say what you're doing is still amazing. There's people that would kill for that. Also, one thing I did notice looking at it is, you mentioned how long you spend on the thumbnail. You have some really good looking thumbnails, and I don't think a lot of people understand how important that in the title is to getting somebody to watch, building a following. That's like if people
The
don't
two,
click on it, it doesn't
it's the
matter.
two most important things. Your video can be the most boring video on YouTube. If your thumbnail is good and your title is good, it's gonna get clicked.
Yep.
And then they're gonna see that it's a boring video and they're gonna leave. But at least they clicked on the video.
They clicked and they watched at least enough that it counts as a view, man. That works. That's what gets you paid. Um,
Exactly.
so how long have you been doing YouTube videos for?
I want to say about 3 years, but I mean, I've been so bad with staying consistent with it. Even right now, like I have not posted a video on my YouTube probably in over a month, and I've got about 20 of them lined up. that I need to make thumbnails for, upload, schedule, and do all that. I'm so backed up with building this shop for the second time, and doing my appointments in between and traveling on top of it, because I do a lot of conventions. It's something that I've always done in my career is I travel a lot for conventions, and between my clients that I have here at the shop, my travel dates, and all my extracurriculars, your boy's spread out.
Yeah, it seems like you do a lot. I did look at your website and see all the travel dates you have coming up. You do a lot of conventions.
I'm canceling as many as I can.
It's understandable. You got a full plate.
Chicago's out. We're not doing Chicago this month. I already did Atlanta. I don't want to leave again.
It's a lot, man. And yeah, and especially with the YouTube videos. I mean, I know like people who don't shoot YouTube videos and like think about getting into it, they think the hardest part is shooting the video. That's the easiest part, man. At least I think so. It's the editing, it's the thumbnail, it's coming up with um headline for it and split testing. If you do that, like the editing alone is, at least for me, takes 5 times at least longer than actually shooting the video.
That's why I pay somebody to edit my
That's
videos.
the way to do it.
I have to, because I don't have the time to sit there and edit my videos. I don't have this time to sit there and do my thumbnails, but I'm a very particular person and I like things done a certain way. So I've really helped form my editor to kind of edit the videos the way that I want them. But with the thumbnails, I'd rather just get it done myself and make it exactly how I want it, which takes time. But it is important. I've said it for a long time. It's not about being the best tattoo artist, because I am by far not the best geometric tattoo artist, but I'm pretty freaking loud. You know, I if you are the loudest geometric tattoo artist, you're gonna get clients. Like you are reaching so many people that somebody's gonna pull the trigger on it. So I always tell everybody, it's not about being the best. Don't strive to be the best. Just strive to be the loudest. I want everybody around you in every single room to know that you're a tattoo artist every time you walk in. You know?
Yeah, I have a saying I heard that I love: is it better to be the best or the best known? And like, what's going to get you paid? It is to be the best known 100%. Now, obviously, you should be a good tattoo artist. Like
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you're doing
Skill
chicken shit,
definitely,
it's not.
skill
Yeah.
definitely matters.
Yes, yes, 100%. But being well known is huge. Um, when with getting clients from stuff you post, how would you say, like, how many you get from YouTube versus like other social media platforms?
I would say more from YouTube than I am from any other platform. But if it's not YouTube, it's definitely Instagram for me.
Mm.
But I'm also not on all the other platforms as much as I am on YouTube and Instagram. It's definitely something that I plan to do better at, is when my editor he'll edit a full video for me, for YouTube, and in order for it to be monetized, I think it has to be 8 minutes or something.
Mm.
But with that 8 minute video, he's also giving me two shorts. One is 30 minute or 30 seconds long. The other one is like close to 3 minutes. So the 3 minute video is going to be just like a condensed version of the full video. And then the 30-second video is going to be more of just like a time lapse type thing. Posting that one little short on YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, Facebook, TikTok, every platform you possibly can think of, that video should be on. That's where I fail. I'm not, I'm not getting it out as much as I could. And it really comes down to just being on top of your social media, man. Um, Having a good plan, which I don't have this either. I'm not a very good schedule oriented person. I'm trying to be better at it, There's a really good friend of mine who does geometric tattoos, who's so organized and has such a routine, a weekly routine, where it's like, man, dude, if I did that, my life would be so different and better in a million ways. Like, he's every single week there's X amount of days that he tattoos, and those are the only days that he's allowed to tattoo. All the other days are kind of like they're it's not an option. Can't tattoo those days. And he has certain days of the week where he focuses only on social media. I need to do that. If I can take Monday, or if I can take Sunday, Monday, Tuesday and only do social media, you guys will be seeing a lot more of this face. Haven't done that yet, but I'm coming. It's coming soon. If you can just create that schedule for your week where you're like, these are the days that I'm tattooing. These days are for social media. These days are for getting all my shop supplies, whatever. Having that organization and that schedule is most of the battle, because everything else kind of falls into place once you do. And
Yeah.
that's kind of where I'm trying to get to right now is having that set schedule. I've always kind of just booked, like I'm the artist that has burnt myself out to the max because I have a really hard time saying no to people. Um, and so like I'll be like, oh, well, they're like, oh, do you have the 14th? I'm like, yeah. That was the one day off I gave myself that week, but sure, yeah, you can have it. And now I'm working 7 days that week. I won't do that this year. This year, I am very, very like, I am sticking to Sundays are my days off, period. Nobody books, unless I'm at a convention, of course. But if I'm home, Sundays are my days off. I want to start doing that more to where I can focus more on that one big project that I have for the week, and everything else is not even a thought on those days. That's where I want to get to.
I do
But
think having a schedule is huge. About 3 months ago, I did that. Fridays are only for content. Helps a ton getting it done. I also have a video editor, which the amount of time it saves. And for people who are interested in doing that, like you can find a good video editor in South Africa, in Colombia for not, for $500-600 a month to get them to work 20 hours a week. And for them, that's a very good living.
right,
Um,
yeah, my
so
my editor is in the Philippines.
yeah, yeah, Philippines is a great place to go too. Using things like Fiverr or websites like that, Upwork. The one thing I would say if you're going to go that route is make sure you give them a project to do. That's how I found mine. There was like 10 that I really liked. I paid them all for half a day, had them each edited a video, and then I picked the one I liked the most. Because a lot of people will show you really good edited videos, but it doesn't mean that they did it. So testing them is huge. But yeah, sounds sounds like you found that out with getting somebody in the Philippines. Uh,
Kids
um,
are
how do you balance or how do you have a good work-life balance? Would you say that you do, or
I don't.
eh,
I really don't. It gets for me, it gets to the point where it's like, all right, I have to. I have to take my son riding. I have to go do something with him. He's been sitting at the shop while I'm tattooing all day. I have to do something with him. It's hard, but it's just a lot of late nights for me, like I work super late. I tattoo super late. So if my son's hanging out with me at the shop all day, and he's really did a great job just sitting there and being on his best behavior, I'm like, I got to take him to the lot to go ride. I have to do these things with him. I'm trying to find the time now where I can have a balanced work life schedule. It's just very difficult with opening a new shop. Like
mm,
my I need to be here in order to get this place going. Because if I'm not, it's just going to be dragged on, and it's never really going to get done the way that I want it to be done. So I'm putting in long hours now so that I can take more time off later.
Mhm.
But before I was doing the shop, I had a nice balance. It was the days that I didn't tattoo were those were my free days to do whatever I felt like doing, and it's usually riding with my son.
Yeah.
Pretty much the only other thing that I do besides tattooing.
It's definitely important to carve that time out. My kid, the big thing him and I do is he's really into lacrosse. He plays 9 months out of the year. Like we go around the country doing it. He's fairly good. So that's kind of like you and riding with your son is like, I'll get up early if I need to get those hours in to work, but spending time with the kiddo, like those slots have to be available because like we were talking about before we started recording, it's insane how fast it goes by. My kid's driving in 5 months, which blows my mind. It just goes by so fast.
Yeah, it really does. I'm trying to get back to where I have more time to do those things because I do miss it. I miss the days off.
Yeah, it's huge. So I want to ask one more question about YouTube and then jump into your bike and stuff like that because I love that.
Yeah.
Doing it for 3 years, you've amassed, I think it's like 55,000 followers, stuff like that. I guess how like has it been steady growth? Did it jump up really quick? And like when you started, how much effort were you actually putting into your YouTube videos? Like if somebody started a channel, um, it's not all roses. A lot of people try it for a month, make 2 videos, like I didn't get a million views, I'm done with this. And that's typically not how it works.
Right. Yeah. No, a lot of people think that you could just post and you're gonna do great. It really just comes down to being consistent, consistency, and title and thumbnail. I realize if I'm being consistent and I'm posting 2 to 3 videos per week, my channel is going to be constantly growing, and I can see that in my analytics. It's clear as day. You see your following growing by the day. Um, if you're not consistent, you're not gonna see those results. I'll go from being super consistent for 2 months and I'm posting every single weekend. I'm at least one video. I have to at least get one video out per week. If I'm doing that, that's bare minimum. The growth is still there. It's just not as, fast. Like when I'm posting 3 videos a week, I'm like, holy crap, I jumped up like 200 followers today. Like, how the heck? It's insane how fast it happens. And then you get that video, you get that really good video that performs very well, and it jumps up even more. Like my goal for this year is to hit 100,000. I want 100,000 subscribers, and I don't think it's out of reach. It's just going to take a lot of me being consistent and posting constantly, and just being able to collab with other people too, other YouTube channels. And something I'm trying to do more of is not tattoo related content. Like I want to do my more personal life type stuff, with traveling or just the things that I do to you know get through my day, whether it's going to the gym, what I'm eating, and just a little bit more personal. And I want to be able to be a good influence to the people around me or to anybody that is struggling. And it's like, okay, if you're struggling, there's a blessing coming. You can kind of bet on that. Just keep pushing, don't stop. This is when you need to work the most, is when you're struggling. And that's kind of what I've been doing lately, is just trying to find that nice routine where I can be like, this is easy. It doesn't feel like I'm doing that much work because it's just so natural, it's
Mhm.
naturally happening. Um, And it just takes a lot, man. It takes a lot of research, it takes a lot of long nights of me just sitting on the computer and learning how to get better shots on my camera or just even use the whole functionality of the camera. I'm always teaching myself something that I can do differently that's going to look better or get me more. Um,
Mm.
it's 24/7 job. It
It
is.
is, it 100% is. And it's something I've heard echoed from pretty much every successful artist and shop owner I've talked to is what you just mentioned of continuously learning, trying to get better at stuff. It's kind of wild, but like when I'm talking to a shop owner or an artist that wants to work with us, if they tell me they're the best artist ever and they have no clue why they're not booked out because they're better than everybody, I know before I even look at their stuff, they're going to be not great. Let's just say that. And then the ones that are humble about it and are talking about like I've tried to learn this stuff, like I've been looking into it, I've been doing all this research, like it's it's just an entirely different mentality about learning and I guess kind of being humble in a way. And um, it's kind of crazy to see the personalities and how you can tell within a couple minutes where somebody is more or less at in life.
The humble savage.
Yep.
What it
Yep.
is.
Walk quietly, but carry a big stick.
That's right. That's right.
Um, okay, I actually have one more question before jumping into bikes. When you're going to conventions, how do you book your clients for the convention?
Usually through Instagram.
Mm.
And I will mention the convention in my in one of my posts for YouTube as well, or one of my videos. Um, but it's normally through Instagram. I get better results for conventions through Instagram because I'm collabing with the company that's throwing the convention. I do a lot of the villain art shows.
Mhm.
Troy Temple is a really good friend of mine, great dude. I've been doing his shows for a very, very long time. And anytime I collab with Villain Arts for whatever show I'm going to, they also just recently started doing a artist portal online. So when you're signing up for these events, it's a little bit more thorough of an application where you're putting in your Instagram, you're putting in your 5 best tattoos, and then they're creating a promo post for you.
Mm.
And they're collabing with your Instagram. After that happens, I normally get booked up pretty quickly right after. Um, or if it's a city that I've already been to previously, and as soon as I make a post about it, it's usually booked up pretty quickly. Just because I did it the year before, and there's 10 people that found me at the show and they really want to get tattooed by me. Now they're waiting until I post it. As soon as I post it, they hit me up and we're good. Um, it just takes being consistent and building up that following. It really is. I rely solely on the amount of people that I have presented myself to over the last 16 years of me tattooing, which are all on my Instagram. Those are the people that book with me, and if I make a post, I hope that it does me good. Otherwise, you're just now you're really burning the candle at two ends.
It's something I've heard a lot lately is tattoo artists going to conventions and not doing one tattoo over the weekend, which is wild when you think how much, they spend to travel there, set up, get the booth, and then
That
nothing.
tells it, it tells me more about the artist than anything else.
Yeah,
I don't I don't I don't see how any tattoo artist can go to a tattoo convention and not do a single tattoo.
it's wild.
It's not a thing. You shouldn't. Did you talk to anybody? Did you compliment anybody's shoes that walked by? Because normally when you do that, they're gonna stop and talk, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's dude, it's tattooers have become so entitled because of social media that they feel like they don't have to do anything more than what they've already been doing for X amount of years. It's like, yeah, dude, it worked for you when it was just rolling out and just getting started. Of course it worked. But now you have to do more to get booked because times are changing. And if you're not keeping up with it, then you're going to be a has-been, you know?
Times are changing so fast, man. I mean, when I first started doing marketing for tattoo shops 5 years ago, like we run free webinars where we teach stuff, we do stuff like that. And I said, like, if you start doing the social media stuff, this posting, this running ads, like this is like the heyday of it. It's not competitive yet. I guarantee you in the next 5 to 7 years, it's going to be insanely saturated. 5 years later, like it is
Yeah.
insanely saturated.
Yeah.
Um, there's still obviously lots of opportunity on there. One of the other things I notice about your content that I don't see a lot of artists do is you actually show you and your personality and stuff like that. A lot of Instagrams I see are just 100 tattoos. Don't even
Mhm.
know what the person looks like, what they sound like, if it's male or female. Um,
Right.
and then going back to the like people now want an experience along with a good too. They want to know who they are, who they're going to be sitting with for a couple hours. So showing your personality and who you are is a game changer. At least I think.
It is. No, it really is. The artist that is sitting at the tattoo shop waiting for that walk-in is not the artist that I've ever been. I've always been, if I'm sitting here and nobody's walking through that door, I'm gonna go to the beach and I'm gonna talk to every geometric tattoo I see. Hey, where'd you get that done? It looks really good. Here, check out my Instagram. I do the same style. Next thing you know, they're booking with me. Or I'm going to go to the mall on a rainy day and I'm going to walk around the mall and talk to every single person that has tattoos, hand them a business card. Here you go, here you go, here you go. When I did my apprenticeship, that's what we did.
Mhm.
We went out and got our clients. We didn't wait for our clients to come to us. Never,
I
never.
think that's one of the worst things social media has done is made artists think all I have to do is poster and it will come. Where, like you mentioned, the what's considered now old school, like guerrilla marketing, going out and talking to people, still works so much better because you have that personal connection when you're actually talking to somebody face to face, talking about their tattoos, giving you their card, like they meet you, they say who you are. Um, it's if you're not booked out, just go out and start talking to people with tattoos. Everybody likes to talk about their tattoos when you walk up to them, for the most part, most people.
Yeah, it was
Uh,
one of my number one excuses to go to the bar. I gotta go promote, guys. Like, it's time.
yeah, it works, man. It works so well.
Yeah, it
So
does.
yeah, if you're not booked out, get a couple cards or and go out and start talking to people. It will work every single time.
Yeah,
Guarantee it.
I see a lot of artists sitting on their butts crying about being slow, but I don't see them getting off their butts and working about
Yep.
being slow.
Well, like you mentioned, it seems like the industry is kind of resetting, getting rid of people that aren't willing to do that. And then the ones that are, I know it's slow for a lot of shops, but there's also a ton of shops that are and artists that are booked out 3 months, 6 months. I was just talking to a shop owner who has 5 shops, who's in the middle of opening two more. Like, there's people out there, tons of people out there getting tattooed every single day. They just don't know about you, typically, is the issue. Or they
Yeah,
don't like you. Can also be
yeah.
that. um, cool.
Don't
So,
burn those bridges.
100%, man. That's definitely an issue some artists have. Um, so tell me about the stuff with your bike. Like you, and it sounds like your son as well, do some trick riding kind of stuff. Like, how'd you get into that? How'd you get your kiddo into that? Because that seems like an awesome thing to do with your son.
It kind of just happened. Like I rode as a kid, and we had a neighbor who was a really good friend of mine growing up. He had a bunch of dirt bikes. We were always riding dirt bikes together, or go peds, or anything with a motor. We wanted to be on it. And so I've always had a love for the extreme sport, and um, pretty much anything with a motor that goes fast. I've always loved that. And when I found out that I was going to be a father, I actually sold all my motorcycles. And I want to say at the time I had a CBR. I had a CBR 1000 double R with a extended swing arm, and it was a sweet bike, and it was stupid fast. But I got rid of it because I knew I was going to be a dad, and I bought a Harley. And I ended up getting rid of the Harley too a couple years after my son was born. It just not it wasn't a risk that I was wanting to take anymore. It's so dangerous riding on the street, especially down here in South Florida when you got every old person from all over the world not paying attention. It's definitely dangerous. So I got rid of all of it, and then my son grew up, and I got him his first bike. I got him his first electric dirt bike, and I put the training wheels on the back. And as soon as he was able to ride a bicycle around like 3 or 4, it was straight to the electric bike, no training wheels, and he was going. Like he didn't care about the bicycle. He was like, "Oh, I can balance. I'm on the electric bike. Anything with a motor." And then I got him a gas bike. His first dirt bike was a 70cc little SSR pit bike. He learned on that, and then I got him a 50cc Honda to learn gears. And then the electric bike came out, and those are huge here in South Florida. Every freaking kid has one. They're ripping these things on one wheel 50 miles an hour down the street. The cops can't do anything about it. It's a pretty bad thing going on right now, but I love it.
Yeah.
So I went and I got myself an electric dirt bike. It's a Suron Light BX. That's what I got first. And now I have the Suron Ultra B, which is the Mac Daddy of electric dirt bikes. And then my son has his version, and it's awesome. We kind of just, I one day my friend said that he was selling his bike. I was like, "Oh, what bike are you selling?" And he showed me. It was red. My favorite color is red. It's my weakness. I bought the bike. And then I started learning to do wheelies, and my son loved that. He thought it was super cool. He wanted to do it. So then I started teaching him, and I got him the electric dirt bike. And one day I was doing computer work, and he came in and he was like, "Dad," he's like, "Can I go ride?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure. Go do whatever. Do whatever. Just leave me alone." And he comes back in and he's soaking wet. He's like, "I just wheelied for 5 seconds. 5%." And I'm like, "Why are you wet?" And he's like, "It's raining." I had no idea it's raining. My kid's outside riding his dirt bike in the rain, practicing wheelies. And sure enough, I go out there and he got it down. It just kind of clicked. And ever since it clicked for him, he's been watching all these other kids on YouTube doing it. And he's picking it up so fast, which is making me want to do better too, because I can't let him be better than me. I gotta set
Yep.
that bar. So now we just do it together, and we love it. If any free time that we get, we're riding. Like yesterday, it rained all day. We were still riding all day.
That's awesome, man. That sounds like so much fun.
Did it.
First time my kid used a bike with a clutch, he did a wheelie right into the side of a house. It was not intentional, but there's so much fun, man.
You gotta loop the bike though a couple times in order to get it. I when I first started learning how to wheelie, my friends were like, "You gotta get it higher. You gotta get it higher. You gotta get it higher." And I'm like, "Dude, I am." Like, and they're like, "No, you're here. You want to be like here." And I'm like,
Wild.
dude, like that feeling that it gives you in your chest as soon as you get it up to here, and then when you go here, you're weightless. Like you feel like you're gonna fly backwards. Getting over that is the hardest part. I looped my bike twice in one day, cut my leg from mid shin to my ankle, ended up having a really gnarly infection that I couldn't get rid of. I had to do like an intravenous antibiotic for 5 days, an hour each day. That's what got rid of it, thankfully. Otherwise, I was going to lose my leg.
Damn.
Yeah, that was scary. That was 2 months of not riding, and as soon as I got the stitches out and was able to ride again, I was on my bike, just ready to rock.
I
And
like it, man.
after looping it and really hurting myself, I haven't really done it since. I mean, I've done it once since, but that was just road rash, nothing bad. So
That's wild. But it's literally the fall down, get back up. I mean,
that's my poison. My older brother, I I love adrenaline. I like to feel that fear. And my brother does as well. But his poison is going to be venomous snakes.
that's wild.
I Yeah, that's a variable. Like it's like I at least have control of this bike.
Yeah, yeah, no joke, man. Good Lord.
There's no telling when that snake is just going to turn around and bite you for whatever reason.
Yeah,
You know, that's
100%, man.
so I choose motorcycles over the venomous snakes.
I I think that's a good pick, person. Uh,
Definitely. My brother got bit by a king cobra, and I want to say it took like 28 vials of antivenom to bring him back. He's got the whole video up on his YouTube. It's pretty wild, and he ended up losing half of his finger because of it. I guess they couldn't like get the bacteria or something out of the bone. So they cut half of his finger off. And that's pretty much what was going to happen to my leg when I fell on my bike. So it's just like two different types of danger. I
Pick your
chose I,
poison.
I chose the more fun.
Literally.
I chose the more fun one. Like
I Yeah, yeah.
I'd rather do a wheelie at 90 miles an hour than just hold a snake. That's kind of whack.
I'm with you. That's wild, man. Um, well, I've had you for almost an hour. If you want to stay on after we close out, we'll chat for a minute. But one thing, or last thing I wanted to ask you is, what would you say, like your advice? I know we've talked about a lot of stuff, but if somebody is sitting around waiting on walk-ins, they're hungry, they want clients, what would you recommend they do?
Get off your ass and go talk to people. It's as simple as that. There's so many people in the city that you live in. Get up and talk to them. If they're not getting up and coming to talk to you, you should be getting up and going to talk to them. Like, don't wait for your clients to come to you. Go get them. Go get them, because you're a tattoo artist. At the end of the day, you're a salesman. Sell that tattoo. And if you don't have something to sell, go draw. Like, dude, we're tattoo artists. We're artists. If you're not drawing on a daily basis, what are you doing? You know?
Yes, 100%, man. It's wild that, like, when people think of salesperson, they think of like used car salesman, slick back hair, trying to talk you into doing something you don't want to do. It's not what sales is. At least I don't think that's what sales it is. And every single tattoo artist is a salesperson, and that is a skill that they need. You are selling your work, you are selling what you can do for somebody else, you are selling your service. You are a salesperson 100% of the time. And if you can't be a good salesperson, you're probably not going to have a long, great career as a tattoo artist.
Get that salary then.
100%, dude. Seriously. Chase, I massively appreciate it, man. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me.